I feel like I need a lot of props for this video, and I simply don't have props for this video. I have a hijab, I have some stuff, but I don't have real props for this video. But hi, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the first of the life hacks for ex-Muslims video. Sorry, I had to check the title. That's how quality this video is going to be. But this is welcome to life hacks. Welcome to life hacks for ex-Muslims. And this is the hijabi edition. So this is exclusively for the girls. I'm sorry, I'll get to more like interesting life hacks for both genders in later videos, but I mean it can kind of work also if the guys also wear that long Saudi cloth thing on their head. It can kind of work for that as well. But this is like, I'm calling it hijab life hacks because it's going to involve both the headscarf, the abaya, and for those of you who also have to wear a niqabs as well. And I will say that you can probably get away with a lot more of these the more covered you are, and that is by no means my way of telling you that you should cover more. Look at me. And actually I was going to comment on that briefly before I get into the actual video, but I will say that you can probably get away with more of these like cheats or life hacks if you wore all the accessories rather than just the headscarf. But I mean, we'll see. Just a note, for those of you in the comments telling me that I should wear more clothes, y'all can fuck off. It is so hot outside. I don't want to wear more clothes, okay? It is so hot that if I wore more clothes, you could smell me through this video. I have been sweating all day. I have been outside all day and I have been sweating all day. So those of you who are telling me that I should wear more clothes or like get dressed, y'all can fuck off. Getting back to the hijab video. So I've like broken this up into categories, but it's not really categories. The first life hack that I can give you, if you are in a Western country and you have non-Muslim friends or Muslim friends who sympathize with you being an ex-Muslim, tell them that you don't want to wear the hijab. That would be your first step into accessing all the other life hacks you could possibly have, because you can take off your headscarf in front of them, so long as they accept you. If they're non-Muslim, they're more, they're probably more likely to accept you, but if they're like really devout Muslim, I'm not sure about that. Obviously, play your situation by ear. Tell your friend. So anytime you're out with them or anytime you guys are hanging out in their house, you're free to take it off. That is the biggest life hack that I can give you in this video. But the more covert ones I'll get into now. So one of the things that I used to do while I went to my Islamic school, and I was being a bit of a rebel. I was like 13, I would say. I was a bit of a rebel at 13. And by rebel, I mean like I used to listen to music and draw faces. That's what I mean by rebel. I wasn't doing drugs. I wasn't having sex. I didn't have a boyfriend. I never had a boyfriend until I was about, I want to say 18 or 19. But, rebel in Islamic terms is just, oh, you listen to music and you like kind of sort of like draw people. That's my definition of an Islamic rebel. But when I was in Islamic school, and I never used to do this during Salah, but I've actually written it under Salah. So if you were in prayer, and Muslims pray very differently, they have a whole thing. It's a whole thing. It's like a whole cha-cha slide, whole icky shuffle, whole everything. Like it's a whole gymnastics course to do Salah. So in Salah, if you are like, you have to pray in Jama'ah. Like in my family, we had to pray together. We had to pray in a Jama'ah, and it was like really annoying and stressful. What I used to do, and I never did this in Salah, but I would say that you could possibly pull off, is, I'm going to put on this. So if you're wearing a hijab, right, and it's like wrapped all the way around. I don't even know if my mic is going to pick this up, but it's wrapped all the way around, right? So this part is completely covered. So you could wear earphones or like the weird ones without wires now that I completely don't understand because I'm a dinosaur. You can wear earphones, and as long as they're not sticking out on the outside, you can wear them internally, like put them through your clothes. If you're wearing an abaya, then you just need to wear it under your, you need to put it through your abaya. But if you're just wearing a headscarf, then you might need to feed it through like your neckline so that you can't see it because your neck is going to be covered, right? So you can do that. Please pick up the sound. I'm begging you, pick up the sound. I'm sorry. This video needs props. But yeah, you can actually, like, when I was in class in Islamic school, we had to wear a headscarf. So I would like put one earphone in and listen to music or an audiobook, and the rest of the time, like, I'd keep one out so I could also hear if someone was calling me, or like if you're in salah, how I envision it is that when you hear like the Allahu Akbars to like move, then you can hear that and you can, you know, do it, but like you won't be wasting your time because you'll have an earphone in. And I reckon that it probably could work. I don't have earphones. It would be great if I had earphones, but I reckon if the guys were to either wear those like wireless earbuds, is that what they're called, like, I don't know, AirPods, that's what they're called. If they were to wear like those AirPods with the little like tablecloth on their head, like the Saudi tablecloth, you know I'm talking. I'm not trying to be problematic. I don't know what it's called, but you know what I'm saying, like the ones that sheikhs wear, the Saudi tablecloth. If they're wearing that, then they can probably wear the AirPods, or they could, like, something that I used to do back in the day, like while I was wearing my hijab, is that instead of wearing my headphones this way, I would wear them behind me so that they'd be here, but they would go backwards and then around, like to my phone or MP3. I come from the day of MP3. I had an MP3 back in the day. But yeah, that's what you could do possibly with your hijab. It's just like at salah, or if you go to an Islamic school, or as you're walking around daily and you're not allowed to, listen to music, you can just put it under your hijab and nobody's going to know. And as long as you keep one ear open so that you can hear other people, you'll be fine. And it takes some getting used to, so maybe don't like blast the music in one ear the first time you do it. So get used to like maneuvering while, one of your ears is going to be blocked off. So the next thing, and I'm going to have to untie my hair for this, the next thing is for fasting. Like, a couple of people were like, oh, we want life hacks for fasting. If you wear a hijab, you're in luck, because you can hide shit. You can hide shit in your hijab. So, like, this is going to be covering your head all the way around your neck. And what you can do is braid shit into your hair. You can braid, like, especially if I'm not saying to put raw like chicken in your hair, but like if it's packeted food or like snacks, you can braid it into your hair. And I actually got this hack from a Jenna Marbles video where she like braided shit into her hair. You're gonna need a bunch of elastics for this, but like if you know how to do a simple braid, you can just like braid shit. Like, I might speed this part up because I don't know how dexterous this is going to be, but I assume it's not going to be very dexterous at all because it's going to fail. I don't know how to do this. This is fun though. Okay, I don't know how to do this, but like, with some practice, you could probably braid some shit into your hair. Let me try. Let me give it a go. But this might take a while, is what I'm saying. You see? Now that shit is in there. Now, I know I didn't show you a tutorial how to do that. I'm not very dexterous at this kind of stuff. And also, I think your hair has to be like kind of dirty to do this because it needs some oil for some grip. But like, as soon as it's in there, like, you can just tie it back and then put your hijab over it, and then you have like a secret stash of snacks. You can just hide snacks in there. Like, again, I know this isn't really a hack for the guys, but like, if you wear a hijab, then go for it. Also, something that may be easier, if you're wearing a abaya, invest in pockets. Those things can hold your snacks. You can put snacks in your bra. They might melt though, so be careful. In your waistband, in your socks. If they're in packets, I'm sure it doesn't matter. Obviously, don't put like actual food like rice and curry into your undergarments. That might be a bit unhealthy for you. But I'm gonna tie my hair up again because I feel like I'm gonna wear that hijab again for no reason. But like, braid shit into your hair, it works. But yeah, you can also, if you wear like a full abaya and even just around the house, like I had to wear really loose clothing around the house, even though it was my house. So I would just stuff stuff in my bra and in my waistband when, I didn't want to fast that day. The other things that I've listed is that for your daily life, like home, school, and work or work, you can take your hijab on and off on public transport if you live in like a non-Muslim majority country, like in the UK or Western countries like the US or Australia or New Zealand. If you live in a country where it's okay to not show your hair. What am I saying? If you live in a country where it's okay to show your hair outside. Sorry, I don't know where I am today. So you can take your hijab on and off public transport, especially if you live in like a very big city. Nobody gives a fuck, is what I'm saying. Like, I have taken my hijab off on public transport for the last 2 years that I was living in my Muslim family's house. I was like wearing hijab in front of them, but not outside. I used to take it off on public transport before I went to work because I didn't want to wear it at work. And, I've taken it off in front of Muslims, non-Muslims, everybody, nobody gives a fuck. Like, I've never been questioned once, like, why are you taking off that hijab? I used to wear, like, this scarf as, like, an accessory. So I would just sort of wear this around my neck, like that. So once I took it off, it was just, like, here. And it just looked, kind of normal with t-shirts or whatever. But yeah, I used to do that on buses, on trains, in train stations. Train stations, actually, a lot of them have like waiting areas, especially in London. They have like waiting areas where you can just take it off and nobody will see you if you're really scared about doing that. There's some train stations have bathrooms, so you can change in the bathroom. I've done it at bus stops as well, especially if they're like not facing outwards towards the street but facing inwards, so people can't really see you, unless obviously they're on the pavement. But yeah, I used to do that all the time, and nobody really gave a fuck. So if you're worried about people like challenging you and being like, why are you taking off your hijab, nobody ever did that with me. Nobody ever, not once. And I did it for almost 2 years. You can also so this will kind of only work if you have your own room. Like, if you have your own room, like, all your shit is in one place. So if you have like trashy clothes that you want to go out and wear to a party or a dinner, or you're faking going to a family's place when really you're going to a mixed party where there's boys and booze and all that stuff, you can wear all your trashy clothes under your abaya and then just change on the train. I personally have never done this. I usually just what I would do is wear really loose clothes out from my house, because at that point I wasn't wearing an abaya. But I would bring I usually carry around a rucksack, so you get used to people thinking that you wear an abaya and you have big bags normally because you carry your life around. But I used to have a big rucksack anyways, and I used to just pack like all my trashy clothes in there, and then when I got to my location I used to get there really early and then change. But also, if you wear an abaya and you have your own room, you can just wear all your trashy clothes underneath, put your abaya on top, and then just commute to your next place, or take your abaya off on the public transport or the Uber or whatever, and yeah, you're good to go. If you wear a niqab, if you show your eyes, then don't do your eye makeup, is all I would say, because that is visible. But if you have to cover your face, like you started wearing niqab and now you can't stop, like I did, I was really, really hazed for taking my niqab off, even though I took it off because I couldn't breathe. But if you're in a situation where you can't take your niqab off and you want to go to that party and you want to look fire, just put all your makeup on, put your niqab on, and do your eye makeup when you get there. Or in the Uber or on public transport. Again, you need to practice it, but I mean, you can do it. I believe in you. But yeah, those are some hacks. Like the same goes for like accessories, jewelry, whatever you're not allowed to wear. Just get used to people in your house, in your Muslim family house. Get used to you wearing an abaya all the time. Just and you can walk around under there however you want. And then when you get out, you need to go to work or you need to go see friends or like I used to. Something that I used to do as someone who used to take my hijab off all the time is go to pubs because you're not going to find Muslims there. And if you do, and they tell on you, people are going to be asking, why were you at a pub to begin with, So they're not going to rat on you if you go to a pub. So yeah, I used to go into a pub, take off my hijab, put my hijab on before I left the pub, and then, do whatever. I think one thing that people struggle with hijab is that they're really scared that someone's going to catch them. In a big city like London, nobody's going to catch you. Like, unless they're looking for you, then yeah, be vigilant. Like, something I used to do is when I got into my area, so I used to live in Wembley. I don't live there anymore. But when I got into my area, I would, as soon as I like passed the threshold of Wembley, I would put on my hijab because my family's going to be there. And that's, when most of my family lived at that time. But I used to put on my hijab and then do my business with my hijab on there. And then slowly, as I realized that nobody in my family actually goes outside ever, unless it's like Ramadan and they're going to the masjid 24/7, then, I don't need to, I like 9 times out of 10, they're not gonna see me without my hijab, unless it was like on the street that I live on. Obviously that would be stupid not to wear it, and I'm hiding the fact that I don't wear hijab outside from them. That'd be stupid not to wear it on that. But like the rest of the borough, obviously I can just do whatever. If you live in like a countryside area, literally just take your hijab off in like a shed or something. I don't know, I've never been to the countryside, but I'm sure there's like loads of like empty spaces where you can just like do whatever and nobody will see you or find you. And that's one of the reasons that I'm terrified of going to live in the suburbs. But I also thought, as like someone who's giving you some hijab hacks, I would also give you some like styles that you could use to like wean yourself off the hijab, because it's not always the easiest to just throw it off and throw it in a garbage fire and watch it burn. It's not the easiest thing to do. Sometimes you need to wean yourself off it. So I thought I would go through some styles with you. And then I have like one other thing to tell you about. But I think one thing that I used to fuck with a lot when I was like thinking about taking off my hijab is I would wear it as like a hood. So I'm trying not to block my mic out. So I would just like loosely cover myself like that. Or even looser, I would like pull it back and then wear it like a... I'm just trying to get to my mic. And wear it like a dupatta, like they do in like Pakistan, Bangladesh. Another style is like the bandana style, where you just like clip it back, where it's just like this. And you can also like wear earrings or whatever. And we used to have a style where we would like clip it back and then it would like come around here. So it was like a hijab, but not really, because your ears and your neck are showing. The other style is like the turban style, where you just like wrap it around your head, do some shit like this, or you pull it back so that all your hair is covered, and then you just like wrap it around the back like a turban. The other style is, I've just put earrings. It's just like a normal hijab, but you have your earrings showing, it's just a little bit of self-expression. The last thing that I will tell you about is, if you want to get like body piercing, obviously not facial piercings without your parents knowing, because they'll see your face whether or not you cover your face outside. But like if you wanted to get like your nipple piercings or your belly button piercing, or you wanted to get like tattoos on different parts of your body, and you're covering most of your body, so like almost like most of your arms, most of your legs in the house and outside. Obviously if you're wearing a abaya, you're covering everything. You can get a tattoo like here on your legs, on your like torso, and people won't know about it because you'd be hidden. I got 2 of my tattoos while I was living with family and no one ever knew about it. Ever. I only told one cousin, and she only knew that I had a tattoo because I told her. So yeah, those are my hijab hacks. If you found this useful, please let me know. If you thought it was stupid and annoying, please let me know. But I think one of the most tricky ones is probably that braiding shit. You probably have to get good at that. But I found it really useful when I watched that video by Jenna Marbles where she was just braiding things into her hair. And I was like, you could totally do that in Ramadan, where you could just braid snacks into your hair and then cover it with a hijab. No one would ever see it. No one would ever think it either, because it's a crazy and stupid idea. But yeah, I hope these things were useful and make your lives a bit more livable for those of you who have to wear hijab and don't want to. But yeah, here are my hacks, and I hope they're in any way beneficial to you. And please let me know what else you would like a hack on. Would you like a hack on Ramadan? Because I want to do a life hack on that, and I'll probably still add the ones that I've put in this one back to that one, the ones that are relevant. A couple of people wanted a Salah life hack. I don't have a ton of those, but I'll think up a couple. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. I hope it was informative, and I hope you enjoyed it, and you know, it was a little funny to watch me fuck around for like almost 22 minutes. But thanks for tuning in, and thank you for your love and support, and thank you for subscribing and liking and being the best. And yeah, goodbye. I'll see you in the next one.